Alright, yo, peace everybody. It's your boy Trey the Creator, and welcome to Creators Corner. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the video, as well as share the video. Hit the notification bell for me. And like I said again, like and subscribe to the channel. Please, the more like and subscribes we get, the more the channel can grow and the more shit we can talk about. So, what are we gonna talk about today? What we're going to talk about today is something I posted on Twitter the other day, and let me pull the tweet up right quick. I should have had this shit already pulled up, but it was something I posted on Twitter the other day, because I was thinking yesterday while I was I forgot what I was doing yesterday, but I was thinking, and this is what I tweeted. I have a theory, and it's just my personal opinion. Nobody else has probably said this. If somebody has said this, more power to them. But I was thinking about this yesterday. I have a theory that this is exactly what I tweeted word for word. I have a theory: the same Negroes who believe voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will help the black community are the same Negroes that believe Jesus is going to save them. I said it's a theory. I asked, is the theory a bit too extreme, or does it sound about right? And I asked that because I find it very, very prevalent that the same people who vote Democrat religiously, quote unquote, are the same people who believe that Jesus Christ is going to save them. And they go to church every single Sunday, go to Bible rehearsal, and etc. And I think it's a common thread between church and politics to a certain degree, because I grew up in the church. I think I've said this, but one thing in me letting religion go, or Christianity go, I look back on my time in the church and I noticed that a lot of times preachers would, quote unquote, prophesy stuff to happen that may not, quote unquote, all the time be true, if you understand what I'm saying. In essence, I'm saying a lot of times preachers would lie essentially for people to give them money in the collection plate. I've seen this numerous of times. I grew up in the church. You can't tell me anything about church that I don't already know about church. You can't throw a Bible verse at me that I don't already know and have not already heard. So to anyone that is a Christian believer that watches my videos, I'm sorry if I offend you with this, but I'll do a later video talking about the in-depth history of Christianity. But I think there's a direct correlation between black people that religiously go to church and black people that religiously vote, because politicians lie a lot. You understand what I'm saying? They lie essentially to get your vote. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. Now, they don't lie to, quote unquote, some other people. Other people do get the benefits, but when it comes down specifically to black people, we go out and vote just based on, quote unquote, tradition of doing so. We vote Democrat based on tradition. Like I said, I think it's just a direct correlation between the two, because like I said, there's politicians lie. You understand what I'm saying? They sit here and say that all of these policies are gonna help black people in trickle down effects. You understand? The same way a preacher may sit here and say, if all of you, you know what I'm saying, he passes the collection plate around. Like I said, I remember seeing this growing up, so I'm not bullshitting. He would sit here and say, I'm going to raise an offering. If you need a blessing from God, don't feel free to sow a seed. This is the type of shit that preachers would say. You understand what I'm saying? And he also would sometimes say, if you want a specific word from God, come up here, you understand, and lay an offering at my feet. That's the type of shit that will happen essentially in church. And this also goes to the point we are willing to give money in church, but not willing to fund politicians. If we took half of the money, I ain't even gonna say all the money, if we took half of the money that we gave to the church on Sundays and different conferences and stuff like that, gave half of that money, let's say, I can't remember the exact number, but let's say black people gave $1 billion a year. It's probably not that big, but $1 billion a year in tithes and offerings and just giving the money to the church. If black people was to give $500 million to politicians to sit there and tell them what we need, what we want, and what we want done for our communities, and lobby and put together super PACs and, you know what I'm saying, do shit like that, buy politicians and rent them, this the type of policies we can get done for one another, the type of shit we can do. Imagine if we took that exact same money and stopped putting it at, say, $500 million. Let's say we took that money also out of church and invested into our own communities. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of the people who believe in group economics. I think group economics works. I'm not one of the people who say that it does not work. It works. The problem is, and I hate to say it, is us. We don't have the minds to sit here and dig ourselves out of the hole that we're in, because we constantly go to church every single Sunday. Like, that's what we do. We constantly vote every single election cycle, whether it be city, state, or national. We vote every single time and don't demand anything. And on top of that, we hope that things are going to change. See, this is the reason why I say it's direct connection between voting and or politics and religion, because preachers sell you hope. Politicians basically sell you hope to a certain degree, if you understand what I'm saying. It's the hope that something will happen for you or your community, but nothing specifically has happened. There's a reason why there are so many churches and so many liquor stores around them. There's a reason why. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why there's damn near a black. Like I said, there's nothing anyone could tell me about the church that I don't already know. I grew up in the church. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up in the Church of Christ. That was the church my grandparents went to. My mother, she turned Pentecostal, so I know all about that. I know all about the Kojic. I know about all of it. Methodist, Baptist, I know about all of that. So it's nothing anybody can say and tell me about church. But nonetheless, there's a reason for these things to be so connected, and for all of these people to sell us hope, because during slavery, we were basically sold that exact same hope. I've already touched on this. Reverend C.C. Jones, the idea or concept of Christianizing the African, basically telling him that he's going to get his reward in heaven, essentially. Or let's take it back to Johann Blumenbach. You understand what I'm saying? Basically saying you can't let the slave know where they come from. You can't let the slave know their name, know their history, etc. I know people like to question the Willie Lynch letter, but nonetheless, the Willie Lynch letter and its effects still hold true. Now, of course, the Willie Lynch letter, that's kind of a fake document, whatever the case is. But Johann Blumenbach implemented that, and he was a real person from Germany. You can't ignore that. So, and like I said with Reverend C.C. Jones, the process of indoctrinating indoctrinating the African into Christianity. Before you came to America, you were not Christian. This is proven. This is a fact. This is not something that we have to debate. You understand what I'm saying? Before we came to America, we were not Christians. What we practiced was, depending on which West African country you come from, you either practice the ancient and traditional African spiritual systems that was in that home country, or let's say if you came from Mali, let's say your ancestors descend from Mali or something like that, then you may have your ancestors may have practiced Islam. And if you do any further research, the only reason why Mali practiced Islam is because the kings that ruled Mali, let's bring in Mansa Musa for example, or in some of his people who came before him, they only converted to Islam for political purposes, if you understand what I'm saying. So this is why I tell people that Christianity is not your original religion. You have been fed lies. You have been fed a multitude of lies about, you understand what I'm saying, the stuff that African people did during slavery, after slavery, and even before slavery. Because, you understand what I'm saying, this is the reason why America can't necessarily teach pre-slavery for Africans or African Americans. You can't teach it. You understand what I'm saying? Like Game of Thrones. This is a show called Vikings. What's another one? That's another movie. Clash of the Titans, 300. All these different white TV shows on their history, but I have yet to see a show on, let's say, the Mandinka Empire. They won't show you that shit. They won't show you, like I said, a story on Mansa Musa. They won't show you that shit. It's because the idea is to entertain you and lie to you. What happens in church, especially if you grew up in the church. I grew up in Pentecostal. You understand? Since people running around shouting and screaming and speaking in tongues, it's a show to a certain degree. The preacher gets up there and preaches his word. It's a show. You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why most churches have big lights. You know what I'm saying? Big speakers. You know what I'm saying? I used to work sound in church. You know, I mean, I may be a little young. I'm 24, but I did all this stuff in church. You understand what I'm saying? It's a production. I remember having to work the soundboards and record the audio for services. It's a show. You understand what I'm saying? It's a show, essentially. The same applies with politics. It's a show. It's a spectacle. What did the two presidential candidates, Joe Biden, even before then, when they were nominating a Democratic or Republican candidate to represent each party, what did they do before then? They ran around having debates. That's a public spectacle, a form of entertainment to try to get you, essentially, to sway you who you want to vote for. It's all a game, and it's all a game of charade meant to entertain you, but not necessarily give you anything after the entertainment. If you understand what I'm saying, like, this is not something I'm quote unquote making up. That's why I say it's a direct correlation between the two. Like I said, politicians lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say preachers lie, but they both basically sell hope to the people. You cannot deny that's essentially what they do. And I will most definitely say there are some preachers that do lie. I have seen preachers lie to my face. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to sit here and be disrespectful to any of them, but some preachers have lied to my face. Told me, you know what I'm saying, prophecies and etc. and the shit just simply was not true. You understand what I'm saying? And then they could turn around and sit here and say, well, you didn't believe. Well, what do you mean I didn't believe? I was having a conversation with my grandmother a while back, and my grandmother was saying, you don't have faith, and you don't have faith in these politicians. That's all we could do is hope. And I'm like, yo, Nana, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's all we have been doing is hoping. we hope that another police shooting won't happen. We hope white people won't keep killing us. We hope white people was gonna basically emancipate us from slavery. We hope that we keep hoping for shit, and we keep still getting the same bullshit. This goes essentially to the point of my topic for today. Our unwillingness, and I'm not even gonna say unwillingness to evolve as a people. Let me give you a prime example. You're probably not gonna be able to see this, but this is 1 ounce of silver. This is an American Silver Eagle, the 2020 version. Now, I have started investing into silver, I want to say probably a week or two ago. But I wish I had started investing earlier. Why? Let me tell you why. A piece of another one of these came out probably like at least a month ago or so. It was the I think it was the 75th anniversary of, I believe, World War II. They had a coin, an American Silver Eagle coin to come out. And it sold for $83. They only printed, I believe, 5,000 or 50,000 copies of it. I can't remember exactly what it was. 5,000 or 53,000 of these things. Now, the resale of that coin. Now, let me stop and just state on the value of the coin. It sold for $83, which means, and like I said, it sold out quick. From what I know, it sold out in a matter of an hour. That same coin today, if you go on eBay and try and buy it, or a private seller, it's gonna sell for about $1,500. That one coin, that 1 ounce of silver coin, not this one here specifically, but the World War II anniversary, 75th anniversary coin is selling right now for almost $1,500. Imagine if, you understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I'm investing in the precious metals, because the longer you keep these precious metals, the more chances you have, of fighting inflation. Why do I say we need to fight inflation? Because this goes to some of my previous videos. The money that we have in our bank accounts and the money that we have, like these little paper dollars, are not real money. They're Federal Reserve notes. They are not real money. This is 1 ounce of silver. This is a silver dollar. This is real money. No way around it. This is real money. The money we have is fake money. Black people have a huge tradition of, this is what we do. We work for the man for, let's say, I want to say 20, 25 years. No, let me take it back. Let's take it back a little further. We go to school, get good grades, get a good, make sure that when you go to school, make sure you have good grades. That way you can get a good job. No, better yet, you can go to a good school, get a good education, and get a good job. This is what I was taught growing up, and I know a bunch of my people were taught this exact same thing. Go to school, 1 through 12, best first grade through 12th grade. Get good grades so you can go to a good university. Get yourself don't get an associate. Get yourself a bachelor. Well, not even really bachelor nowadays. They push for a master's degree and doctorate degree. So basically, do that and then get yourself a good job. Work at that job for, let's say, 20 years, retire, and live off of your retirement. Now, let me give an example of why silver. This is what I mean by we need to evolve as a people, because that's the mindset that we have. I'm not even gonna get into starting the business aspect. I'm gonna speak specifically on the money aspect. In 2008, the U.S. faced a recession. Why do I bring that up? Basically, the recession caused a lot of, the U.S. was in too much debt, and basically, to a certain degree, money became useless to a certain degree. And now, I'm not even gonna use the recession. I'm gonna use the Great Depression. That's what I should use. Use that as a teaching point. The Great Depression. Now, money at that point became useless. Now, if you had silver on hand, and a lot of people did back then, to a certain degree, you could fight inflation. Why? Because you no longer have these paper monies, fucks, whatever the shit is. You have real silver and gold. This has always been the standard and always will be the standard of money. So why do I sit here and bring that up and say black people should invest in the silver and gold? Again, because it's the fight against inflation. I said this in my last video. In the 50s or whenever it was, you could buy a cheeseburger from McDonald's for 15 cents. Today, how much it costs? It costs like $1 and some change. The price of silver goes up the older it gets, especially if you keep it in good condition. Or not even if you keep it in good condition, even if you have it, the price of it does not change. Silver is a precious metal that holds value. Why? Because it's not backed by, a form of numbers and dollars in a computer. It's backed by, simply put, itself. It's silver. What more does they need to say? Why do you think pirates, you understand what I'm saying, went around searching for when it was, ships, silver and gold? What do you think I think it was the gold rush. I forgot when it happened. I think in the 1800s, when everybody went west searching for gold. Why? Because it's real money. It's real. People will kill over this. This is just 1 ounce. Imagine if I had a whole fucking huge, I don't, but imagine if I had a whole fucking huge 10-ton brick of silver. You know how much that shit is worth? Like, come on. This is what I'm talking about. This is real money. But if I sit here and tell, but most black people I tell, you need to invest in the silver. Well, I need to invest in the silver. You just buy money with money. No, fool. This is real money. You can sit here and give this to somebody. This 1 ounce of silver. And this 2020 was, I think it was what, $28, I believe I spent on this. Whatever the case is. This $1 piece of silver. Now, of course, if I was to take this to I don't know, to fucking Wendy's or some shit. I don't know, cause think about a burger right now. But let's say I took this shit to Wendy's and spent this. Wendy's is gonna give me $1 worth of value for this. But if I take this to a coin shop, I'm gonna get what I paid on spot for this and some. And depending on the value and the condition of this, I can get more money back than what I spent on this. Why? Because it's real money. It's legal tender. Like I said, I brought that up because a lot of black people, they put all their money, especially this is what most older black people tell younger black people. Get yourself, like I said, get yourself a good job and save up. That way you have yourself a good retirement budget, essentially. If you put your money into silver and gold, you can triple your money. You can. Let me give another example. A silver panda. Now, a silver panda, these are some of probably the most expensive coins you can get. I have some on the way. But nonetheless, a silver panda. Silver pandas are the most unique in the sense that they double faster, essentially, than this American eagle does. So essentially, if I was to have, let's say, a silver panda for, I don't know, from 2017 and try to resell it 5 years from now, let's say I bought it for $25, I don't know. If I keep that bitch in mint condition, I can probably sell that shit and get probably, let's say, $60 back for it. Why? Because the price of silver is good money. The more, and this is the reason why I say people need to invest in this is why I say black people need to change their mindsets up. The more money the U.S. prints, the more valuable this becomes. I want people to really understand that we are trillions upon trillions of dollars in debt right now. The more and more money the U.S. prints, the more silver and gold, diamond and platinum goes up, the more valuable it becomes, because the more the dollar is useless. Like I said with the cheeseburger concept. Back in the 50s, you could get a cheeseburger for 15 cents. Nowadays, with that exact same $1, you only can, it costs $1 to get a cheeseburger. Think about how many cheeseburgers you could get for 15 cents back in the day. Come on. Nowadays, to get one cheeseburger, it's $1. Back then, it was 15 cents. Why? That's because the dollar is, they could basically control the value of the dollar, and the more and more money they print, the less value it becomes. $20 bills today may get you 20 cheeseburgers. The more and more the value, the more and more the value of the dollar gets devalued. Let's say 20 years from now, you can get 20. You may be able to get 20 cheeseburgers for $20 now. A couple years from now, you may only be able to get 13 cheeseburgers because the price may go up to $2.50. I don't know the math exactly on that, but I'm just using that as an example of why silver is a good way to fight against inflation. And I didn't want to talk about silver that much, but I'm just using that as an example of black people's inability to evolve. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I got started off with the video. Church plays a role into this. Education plays a role into this. What else plays a role into this? Politics plays a role into this. Even our health profession, even health wise, all of that plays a role into this, because we sit here and get lied to so much, and the lie is somewhat become the matter of truth for us, to where now we live in a fantasy land, in a land of make believe. The truth. And also one of my teachers, hopefully I get to meet him one day before he transitions to the ancestors. I've seen this video probably 5 or 6 times, but it really did not hit me till I watched it yesterday at work. Well, it hit me, but I never really thought about it the way I did, because you understand, like, I'm in school right now, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of a study on the 3 social sciences, psychology, sociology, and anthropology. And me doing this is as I'm doing research and stuff, and I'm actually doing it on the impact of religion. Exactly, to be honest with you, that's what I'm doing my research paper on in school was. But I was listening to Ray Hagas, and he did a sermon called "The Truth is Unbelievable." And I watched this video probably 5 to 10 times, but I thought about it and I was like, yo, that's deep. The truth is unbelievable. If I was to sit here, like I said, I can prove to you all day that this silver dollar is worth more than a $20 bill. I could prove it to you without a doubt. And it may in fact be the truth. But it's so unbelievable because this $1 silver coin, if I tell you that this is more valuable than a $20 bill, you will call me crazy. I can bring up documents from the US. I can get a professional to tell you this and back me up. Still unbelievable. Why? Because the land of make-believe, and I'm shout out to Ray Hagas, this shit was deep. The land of make-believe is more valuable than a reality of truth. This is the reason why politicians, preachers can sit here and lie to us so often, and we believe them, and they give us no proof. There's no accurate. And like I said, I don't want to offend nobody. I'm saying all of this out of love for my people because I want to see us thrive and evolve as a people. But there's no evidence of black people, African Americans specifically, on a national scale. There's no evidence that voting and going to church has been proven to help African Americans as a collective, and we know this to be true due to the racial wealth gap. I'm gonna say this again: black people own negative percentage of the wealth, a negative percentage of the wealth in this country. From when we came to this country, from when we were emancipated, to the civil rights era, and to now, we don't own shit. We don't own anything. The racial wealth gap cannot be disputed, and I want people to really, really, really understand that. You understand what I'm saying? Let me text my fiance right quick. But yes, this is what I keep trying to tell people. The truth is unbelievable, because I can throw knowledge to you all day about the Bible and who created it, why it was created, what was the what purpose was it created for. What purpose was it created for each individual group? I could throw all that. I kick all that knowledge to you. I could kick knowledge to you about this Bible books that have been taken out of your Bible and show it to you and prove it to you. But what are black people gonna do? Call you crazy? Sit here and say that Satan be a Satan? I pled the blood of Jesus against you. Say a bunch of other shit. The defense mechanism comes up. I can sit here and tell, even with politicians, I always tell black people, all these police shootings happened under Obama's watch. It was not under, it was happening under Bush's watch, but the majority, like the real thick of it, the real somewhat resemblance of Jim Crow happened during Obama's administration. Trayvon Martin started a series of police shootings, and Obama didn't do shit, but we hoped Obama would. This is what I'm saying. When Obama even first came into office, we hoped that Obama would help black people. He did not. We hoped that he would do something about police shootings of African American kids. We hoped, and we hoped. We hope every single Sunday that, you know what I'm saying, the preacher is going to do something for, or that God's going to do something for us through the preacher that we couldn't seem to do ourselves. And this is one of the reasons why I let religion go. It's not more so because I don't believe in God, because I do believe in God, but I believe that whatever I need and whatever needs to be done can be done by me, because I have faith in myself. Yes, God gave me the ability to do this YouTube channel, but I have to do this YouTube channel. I have to sit here and take time out of my day to sit here and do a video for people. That's not God, quote unquote. That's, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and say that God gives me the ability to do it, but I have to do it. And at the same time, if this YouTube shit fails, I'm not gonna put that same onus on Satan. Well, it's because of Satan. It's the reason why my YouTube channel didn't succeed. No, it's because of me. It's not because of God, or that's not because of Satan. It's because of me. That means that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I always say this: the plan never fails. People fail the plan. This is the reason why I left religion alone, because religion allows you to put the onus off on something instead of yourself. Essentially, you have to be willing, and you know what I'm saying. While I do think that Christianity is a religion made by white people, there are some good gems in it. You have to renew your mind daily. I forgot what the scripture was, but you have to. This is the truth. You have to self-reflect every single day. What can I do better? You know what I'm saying? What can I do better than I did yesterday? It's self-reflect and evolve yourself. That's not going to come from Jesus. That comes from you. You understand? The Bible says these works that these works you shall do greater and more. Whatever it was, you have to do it. And I'm giving you the moral story of the Bible. Essentially, the story of Jesus Christ is about you. It's not about a man named Jesus Christ. It's an allegory. Basically meant to inspire you to do better. Jesus Christ is meant to be a quote unquote what's the word I'm looking for? He's meant to be an ideal for you to inspire. He's meant to inspire you. He's not a real person, essentially. I guess I know I'm pissing people off for saying that, but I have to say that. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it is. You, like I said, your mind, you have to constantly self-improve. I improve myself every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have to. You know what I'm saying? I'm engaged. It's certain shit, you understand what I'm saying? I don't be wanting to admit to my fiance, but I got to. Or else this shit ain't gonna work. That same concept we put into relationships. If you want a relationship to work, you have to be willing to self-reflect and see, well, what could I did? What could I have did differently? You understand what I'm saying? What could I have done to make sure that this did not happen? Because 9 times out of 10, it's something you could have done. Something. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I try to tell people. You understand what I'm saying? And this goes with politicians also, man. This is why I say politicians are meant to lie and deceive you. Because a politician is never going to help you. They won't. They have never been proven to. Now, there are ways that they can, but black people aren't that mentally together to understand how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think the push for reparations right now is golden. You understand what I'm saying? I think the idea of, you understand what I'm saying, holding the vote is a very, very, very powerful thing, because I think that's the most unified, well, I'm not gonna say unified, but for some of us that is the most unified, excuse me, fucking burping. I think for some of us, that's the most unified thing we've done in a minute. Some of us, it's a small percentage of us, but some of us have disrupted the landscape of politics so much that these people have to somewhat come down to our level and not directly address us, but address us to a point where it makes Negroes who don't know any better have to somewhat kind of start speaking our language to a certain degree. Because I've never heard some people speak about reparations until people like me start saying, well, I'm not voting unless I get reparations or get some tangibles. Now, back in the day, people didn't say hold them accountable. Now people are saying hold them accountable. That's because people like me, people like Tariq Nasheed, people like the Black Authority, people like Tone and Yvette and Boyce Watkins and Lord Jamar and Godfrey and a plethora of other people, and Claude Anderson, I can't forget him. People like that have said, let's pump the brakes on this voting shit for a second. Now, some people did vote down ballot. I ain't necessarily in agreement with that, but I understand the idea of it. But some of us have said, let's pump the brakes on this voting shit for a second. These politicians want us to give them our vote because, again, voting is money. If Joe Biden, well, he got it now, but I said this before the election. If Joe Biden wants that presidential election salary, then his ass needs to goddamn sit here and do something for us so we can give it to him. And we didn't got his ass in office, and he ain't even said a single thing he gonna do for black folk yet. I told so many black people that was gonna happen. I told so many people that. And as I always say, the prophet is never welcomed in his own home. He's never welcomed in his own home. Because why is that? Because we have been trained to reject people who think differently and who challenge us to think differently. 20 years from now, I'm 100% sure what I'm saying today and what others saying today will be something that African Americans later on down the line sit here and say, damn, we should have did what they said back in the day. How do I know this? Because I was watching a video 2 days ago of Shahrazad Ali, and she wrote, I think, she wrote the book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, whatever it was, whatever the name of the book was. She was basically spitting some real shit on Donahue's show. And majority of the black women and some of the not so willing to speak to true black men disagreed with her book. But we can see that the book it's proven in today's society. Damn near 30 years later, you have all these independent feminist black women running around here talking about they don't need no man. Her book is proven. Let's take a look at Dr. Frances Cress Wilson and her Cress theory. It's proven. But people rejected her back then, and now we're trying to play catch up. And you understand? We're playing catch up in the ideas that these people pushed for 30, 40 years ago. Now we're trying to implement it now, and people don't want to listen because what they said would happen, and people ain't going to be willing to listen or, again, change their mindsets on certain shit. Because this is, you are what they made you to be. If this is all you know, then that's what it is. I forgot what the study or what where I got the source from. It said by the time a child, I think it was 5 or 7 years old, their course in life is already set on how they're gonna be. I mean, I forgot where I saw that from, but it's the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, from a child. You understand what I'm saying? We already know what we're gonna be. This. Alright, my fucking video feed went out. But yeah, that's why I always bring up the crack epidemic. I always have to, because the crack epidemic essentially was the final blow of breaking the bond between the black man and the black woman. And this, I always have to say that, because essentially, and even it was done before that, because, you know, the whole food stamp thing, and, you know what I'm saying, they would basically try to get the black man removed from the household, giving, you know what I'm saying, household benefits, well, women benefits by removing the man from the household. So all of that puts the crack epidemic, sending black boys and kids to jail, and I mean, all of that shit plays into this quote unquote the problems in Black America today. And you know what I'm saying? Again, when you sit here and try to tell, this goes to my point, the truth is unbelievable. When you try to tell black people that the CIA is the people who brought the crack into America, they sit here and say, well, black people didn't have to use it. Well, they gave it to us specifically. They didn't bring it to any other community. They brought it specifically to the African American community. That is a system in place to keep black people down. Because I hear a lot of black people always saying, well, it's on us. To a certain degree, yes, that's true, but we can't just sit here and ignore the U.S. institutions and governmental role in the problem in African American community today. Because the simple fact that you have the WIC program that literally tells I guess I'm talking about black women that in order to get these benefits, a man does not need to be in the house. What sort of psychological damage does that do to a family? You're trying to push the man out of the household, essentially, because in pushing him out, you get government benefits. Now you raise this kid, essentially, or depending on which kid, you have a boy or a girl. The girl is not the first man in her life. Is not pushed away because the mother, decided to push him away. So now she resents men. This is why women have so many different problems keeping a man, because of daddy issues. Same goes for black boys. My pops wouldn't, around growing up. It affects me. I grew up in a single parent household with my mom's. I'm just more more conscious of the quote unquote attributes and traits I picked up over the years, because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I have to. That's why I say you always have to self-evaluate. I have some of my mother's traits and attributes. I do, and characteristics. I have them because that's who I grew up around. It's inescapable. I didn't have a man around to sit here and teach me how a man should be, how a man should move, how a man should act. A lot of this shit I gotta figure out on my own. And luckily, me as a black man, I'm in the realization of that, and I'm willing to sit here and understand what a man should be and do what a man should be. Because a man is not perfect. A woman is not perfect. None of us are perfect. But we have to constantly build together and not be on this feminism shit in. You understand? Because one thing I do notice is that, and I've always said this, to me, the black woman has all the power, and realistically speaking, to change the paradigm and change the what's the word I'm looking for? The course of the black community. Yeah, the black man has a role in it too, but the black woman specifically can change everything. Let me tell you why I say that. Because the black woman, first of all, we have to recognize, like I said, a lot of these institutions are meant to push the black man out of the household. Let's just start there. So you have to first be willing to let all those government benefits go. Secondly, you have to be willing to heal with the baby father. Bring him back into the household. Don't sit here and kick him out, or be willing to work with the brother. If he wants to see his kids, let him see his kids. Now, if he ain't shit, that's a different story. You understand? If he a fuck boy, then hey, I really can't say nothing about the father at that point. But a lot of these dudes ain't fuck boys. A lot of them want to sit here and be in his kid's life. The mother's the one that push him away and say, nah, I got this. I don't need you. We gonna be all right. My son. You understand? My mom says that shit. My son. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's our son. You understand what I'm saying? So bring the man back into I guess you could sit here and say that it's on the man, because the man has to be willing to come back. But the woman controls everything, essentially. I work in a grocery store. You understand what I'm saying? I see women bringing their little girls in there, and they got them dressing just like them. You understand? Stocking cap on, little leggings on. It's a little fast little motherfuckers. You understand? And I'm like, yo, this kid is finna be just like you. It's not gonna be another mini-me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and the dad don't be nowhere near in the picture. You understand what I'm saying? It be the mama and the kids. Like, and this is the reason why you have such fast ass little girls. And don't get me started if it's just the boy with them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, got him in the freshest cut Air Force Ones. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a never ending cycle. But like I said, when you try to break it down to people like this, they don't want to listen to what you got to say. They say, oh, well, we got to pray it out. Let me bring it back into that. Or we got to take them to church. We got to go to church and we got to pray and we got to do all this other type of shit. What was all that praying during the crack epidemic? This is what I always try to bring this up to people, because, and I don't do this again to be disrespectful. I like to respect people's religions, but I have to, since I'm talking about religion and politics, I have to bring this up. I'm sorry, but where was religion? Where was praying and shit at during the crack epidemic? What about all these brothers and sisters who, due to the U.S.'s institutions funneling crack into our communities, what about all those brothers and sisters who got put on that shit and whose lives and families was fucked up from that? What about that? What about the people who, you understand, had no choice but to sell due to America again taking, oh man, it's crazy when you bring this shit full circle, dropping freeways on the black community, destroying the black community with integration. What was all the praying at during then? Oh, well, we marched and prayed for the civil rights bill. Ever since integration, we have recessed. Before integration, we had businesses, we had communities, we had something. It wasn't much, but it was something we had. Nowadays, we don't got nothing. What was all that praying at then? What was all that praying at during slavery? What was all, I mean, if you want to sit here and subscribe to the whole we was Christians before America, which is proven that we was not, undespicably proven at that. You can't dispute it. But what was all that praying at then? What was all that at? What was all the praying at during Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Air Gardner, Sandra Bland? What was all praying at during then? You hope for something that you have yet to see. You know, this is why I say we have yet to evolve as a people, man. Politically, we hope politicians is going to do something about police brutality. We hope. But you had probably the best candidate to do something in Barack Obama. And what happened? Absolutely nothing. He played a little basketball, sang a little Marvin Gaye, gave a little good speeches here and there again, but he didn't do shit for black people. He fought for immigrants, he fought for women's rights, and he fought for LGBTQ issues. Those are, and he fought for universal health care. He didn't do shit specifically for black people. He a black man. That was America. To me, that was probably, I'm not gonna say it won't be in the future, but to me, in history, well, in recent American history, that was our biggest shot to get something. We dropped the ball on that. Why? Because again, we hope for shit instead of sitting here making these people do shit for us. That's why I said we don't understand the power and value of taking shit into our own hands. Our black, and I have to bring this in because I have to say shout out to my boy, what's his name? Because I got to shout him out. Because this is gonna bring my next point in, and I'm not really gonna be putting no links or shit up in there. This is just me talking right now. But I gotta say shout out to Jared from Jared's Viewpoint, because he shouted me out, and I gotta shout him out because this ties into my next points here, because we're talking about reparations and shit like that. So, damn, I lost my fucking train of thought. But yeah, these politicians, man, they lie. This is what they do. Oh yeah, this is what I was sitting here finna say. If we had really put the fire under Obama's ass, of our black elites and educated, the ones that have the money, I'm not gonna say no names, but we have millionaires in the black community. Had and have millionaires. Tell me why these black millionaires did not put no money, because most of them come from where we come from, the hood, the slums, the gutter, etc., from nothing. Why didn't they put that money into pushing for policies for the advancement of African Americans? Why didn't they do that? Why? Because this goes to my point of elitists selling us out, and why celebrity does not necessarily matter in the black community. Because you can have a celebrity in I'm gonna use Jay because he's my guy. Everybody know I fuck with Jay-Z heavy, but I'm gonna use him as an example because he's my guy. I don't want to diss anybody that I don't. I fuck with Jay. If you know me, Jay is probably the GOAT in rap shit. But I'm gonna use Jay for example. If Jay back then, he said why he didn't do it, and I understand why he didn't do it, but I'm not gonna give him a pass for it. If Jay had of invested his money into his community, into the education of his community, because Jay is a knowledgeable brother. I want people to really understand Jay ain't this stupid nigga that people think. Jay is a very knowledgeable brother. He knows some of the knowledge. He knows some of that 5% of shit. He hangs out with Jay Electronic. He's a very knowledgeable brother, and I see him doing a little stuff here and now. So that's the only reason why I'm using him as an example. But if Jay-Z had have done some of that shit back then, New York could have, bruh, he could have opened up a school for black people and just given them knowledge, real history. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he rocked with the 5%ers, the guys, essentially. Brought some of them brothers in, brought some nation people in. You understand what I'm saying? And start dropping that knowledge. Bam, he could have changed the whole. Well, he from Marcy? Yeah, he could have changed Brooklyn just like that. And I'm just using him as an example because he's my guy. So I'm gonna use people I fuck with as an example. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, yeah, he could have did that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from Detroit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, some of the black people who made it out of D give back. And I'm not saying they don't give back, but don't give back in a form of, you understand what I'm saying, through white corporations. I mean, give back in the form of knowledge, essentially, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, because we have black elites or people that are knowledgeable. Like, I'm always use Francis Cress Wilson as an example, and Claude Anderson. These here are two people that are older black people who have been around for a long time, but are now getting recognition due to, one, social media, and then two, well, actually really all because of social media. Because I never heard of these two people growing up, and they've been doing what they do for years. They've been pushing for this shit longer than I've been alive. I was born in 96. And they've been giving the same rhetoric for the past 40 to 50 years. And I haven't heard a word of them and heard a word about them until the past 2 to 3 years. Why is that? Because, again, if telling the truth was quote unquote popular, or what's the word I'm looking for? Fun, or you can make money off of it, more people would do it. And this goes to Jay's point, and I never could really be mad at him. I mean, I can be mad at him, but he says we got to change the mindsets of people before we start doing. Because what good is it gonna do if Jay come out tomorrow and say all the realest shit in the world, and niggas turn his ass, shut the fuck up, and go rap? That's usually what happens. People start spitting that real shit, and they turn on you. It's not some sort of a false narrative. It's the truth. Speaking of, I mean, like, look at my little YouTube channel. You understand? I should have, even though I ain't been around that long, only probably like 9 or 10 weeks, my fucking YouTube shit should have thousands of likes and views. A couple hundred, and I gotta push for that. I gotta share that shit on, because people telling the truth ain't quote unquote popular. Like the silver shit, be honest with you, I've yet to see, and I'm not saying they haven't done it, but I've yet to see a black intellectual talk about the value of silver the way I have on this channel. Maybe one. What happened to Common Sense? Shout out to him. He the only reason why I actually even found out about silver. He's the only one that actually told me about silver. I barely see anybody talking about the stock market. That's something that black people don't invest in. There's other ways to build generational wealth than sitting here and going to a job and hoping for reparations from the government. Because, like I said, while I do agree with pushing for reparations, we need to push. There are things that we can do in the meantime, between time, to build wealth for our people. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, silver is wealth. It's undeniably wealth. You can't deny that it is. It's wealth. It's real money. The stock market. People done got rich off the stock, but they build wealth in other different ways. Pick up a trade. I'm a meat cutter. You understand what I'm saying? My knowledge of different muscles of meat is valuable to where I can walk into a place and demand something from somebody. I want this. I do music. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's not necessarily a trade, but I do music. You understand what I'm saying? I know how to pick out good sounds for beats. Pick up a trade. Black people usually don't pick up a trade. Flipping burgers ain't a trade. You understand what I'm saying? I always salute a certain degrees to doctors and people in the medical field. That's why I'm getting my degree in healthcare administration. Why I chose that over a bunch of other shit. Because there's always gonna be a need for medical professions. Always. It always will be a need for that. You understand what I'm saying? Always, because health is probably the most. I need to get my shit because I'm a little big dude. But you understand, health is wealth. You understand what I'm saying? It's no point in having this or any money exactly if you ain't got no health. But yeah, man, I had to do this video, man, because, and it's not a popular video. I expected to get some dislikes. I'm pretty sure as the channel grows, people are gonna, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna touch on the religion thing a little bit at a later date because I think I need to. I think I need to. Once I start on religion and Christianity specifically, but really all the Abrahamic traditions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You never really will see me bang on the nation on this channel because I fuck with the nation. I fuck with them heavy. I think the nation is a very, 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 very powerful group and a powerful asset to the black community. To me, the nation is probably the standard, I would say, for what a black religious institution should be, essentially. Because the nation, there are some brothers that are stern, disciplined, and anytime you see them, they speak in positivity. I heard in the interview they don't even carry guns, but they know the art of defense. Come on, bro. How can you hate on that? I can't shit on the nation. I can never do that. Some of the information I know come from the nation. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't ever do that. But I will touch on all three of the Abrahamic traditions because I have to. And especially I have to touch on Judaism and the Hebrew Israelite thing, because I have a feeling at some point I'm gonna have to start dealing with Hebrew Israelites, because usually when people leave Christianity they go to Islam or Judaism, and Islam is more of a religion of peace, whereas Judaism or these Hebrew Israelites, these niggas is ready to go to war over that shit. And while I ain't mad at them, you can't necessarily prove any of the stuff. And like I said, this is the reason why I created this channel. Start conversations. You ain't gotta agree with me. You could disagree with me. You can agree with everything I'm saying. But my message is for us to evolve as a people. You cannot deny that religious what's what I'm looking for? Our religious practices and our political practices are hand in hand in the fact that we hope for stuff that we have yet to see. It's the truth. Whether you believe in the religion or not, you're hoping Jesus Christ is going to come back. You're hoping he does. You're hoping you go to heaven. You're hoping Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do something specifically for the black community. You're hoping, but you have yet to see anything come from that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with hoping, but don't put your hope and faith into things that are not proven. If you understand what I'm saying, like, I hope my video feed doesn't go out. It does from time to time. I ain't gonna lie. It does. But I know, so if you see me look down sometime, I'm looking at my computer because this shit will go out. But I hope it don't go out, but you know, it goes out. Or else I would just keep my eye the whole time on the camera. That way I wouldn't have to hope, because I would already know. But because I hope and don't know, it won't. See, that's the thing. We have to stop getting out of the realm of hope and get to the realm of knowing. I can prove to you that Christianity was created by white people. I can prove to you that all the Abrahamic traditions were created essentially by white people to keep black people down. I can prove that shit to you in 5 minutes. I'm not going to do that in this video because I want people to come back, because that right there, subject in itself, is probably a 6 to 7 week saga of information, because there's so much shit I have to touch on. But like I said, man, we need to evolve as a people. I wanted to touch on some stuff that happened this week, but this video is long. I kind of just want to upload it, and you understand what I'm saying, just keep this shit moving. But I did want to touch on something that my man Jared did say, and again, shout out to that brother. He did a broadcast, I think it was yesterday. He put it out yesterday, and you understand what I'm saying? And speaking on the topic of reparations, he did a video touching on how some of our quote unquote academic professionals have failed us in the push for reparations. And I agree with the brother. A man by the name of Walter Williams, you know, the funny thing about it, one of my favorite books, the Historic Origins of Christianity, is by an author named Walter Williams. But this dude here, who's cooning for white people, two different people now, is cooning for white people because essentially this brother here is against reparations. Now, you know, the old saying, everybody the skin ain't kin, sadly. And you know, this brother here is an academic professional, but he is again failing us as an academic professional. And this is why I say we need to do for self and weed out people who are essentially divisive and agents of chaos. Because a brother like that is an agent of chaos. There is no reason as a black person, especially if you're an African American, that you should ever say anything as far as we don't need reparations. When the Jews received reparations, the Japanese received reparations, the Native Americans received reparations, there's no way out of your mouth you should be saying anything utterly like that. Even if you are a quote unquote not knowledgeable in certain things, you should be saying reparations is needed. You can't deny that. And it's sad that it was a white dude actually in the article that actually was pushing for reparations. I think he was a German. I forgot what the dude's name was. I might not be able to find it. If I can't, it is what it is. But yeah, basically it was his name was Kramer. I don't know what his first name is, but yeah, he was from Germany. He's a Holocaust survivor. And basically he says in the article that Germany basically agreed that what they did was wrong, and that's the reason why they paid reparations to Holocaust survivors, essentially, because they agreed what they did was wrong. They can never, of course, nobody can ever repay us for the 300 years of shit we had to go through here, through 200-300 years. So what we're going through today, nobody can ever pay you back for that. But the simple fact, and he says this in an article, the simple fact that they're willing to sit here and even acknowledge and, you know, extend somewhat of an olive branch to say, you know, we're sorry, here's the compensation for what we did, because you can't deny that the enslavement of black people essentially benefited the American economy to this day, because all of that free labor, all of that cotton, all of that agriculture, all of that free labor, the buildings that were made, because we built the White House, all of that shit to this day they control. And they have the wealth from that, and we got nothing from that. We basically got let go, and nothing came from that. We're supposed to get our 40 acres and a mule. Did not happen. Why? Because white people wanted to hold on to the wealth. And as this dude here, Kramer, said in this article, Germany knew that what they did was wrong, and as a form of apology, they said, we're sorry, here's a compensation for that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it means when you're sorry. You say you're sorry and you compensate and do something different. America ain't did shit like that. This is why I tell black people we need to evolve as a people. They constantly lie to us and give us, they give us hope as a form of reparations instead of tangibles. And the reason why the hope this ain't necessarily even working is because you still dealing with the same shit you was dealing with back then. The simple fact that an officer can kill someone or execute a black person because they feel that a black person is armed, or they think a black person was named, especially black men. We get it the worst out here. Not to say that black women don't get it. Well, I ain't even gonna say that. We get this shit equally. I'm not even finna sit here and do that, because Breonna Taylor got killed. I think it was Sandra Bland got killed. I can't think of all the women that got killed, but nonetheless, listen, man. The simple fact they can do that shit to us, and a lot of these niggas walk, bruh. But if a black person did it to them, oh man, their career is done. Come on, man. That's what happens when you have white law on everything, and black people don't wake up to that. Like, it's so much shit that I can go into on this video. It's white law on everything. When the First through 12th Amendment was being created, it was not intended for you. George Washington knew what he was doing was wrong, but did he free his slaves? No. You understand what I'm saying? Well, he did after he died, but why didn't he free him while he was alive? And I'm not, come on, most people know what I just said. But yeah, he knew what he was doing was wrong. All of these former presidents knew what they was wrong when they had slaves. Does that mean they were going to do something about it or differently? No. Why didn't they? Because that brought them money. You had people out there tilling your fields, your cotton. George Washington had tobacco farm. Had a tobacco farm, I believe. He grew tobacco. Come on, bro. Like, and I ain't even getting into how all the presidents are related. I ain't gotten into that part yet, man. There's so much shit I could talk about, man. The niggas ain't even ready for. But yeah, man, I just had to do this video, man, because we need to learn how to evolve as a people. I do want to touch on this because this goes to my point of evolvement. The Gucci versus Jeezy shit. Now, you know me, you know I'm a fucking huge fan of Jeezys, man. You know how I feel the Snowman. I grew up on Gucci, man, because I am 24, so that means I did grow up on Gucci. I'm a big fan of the guap, so salute to him. But I wanted to use this as a teaching moment, essentially. Man, this video long, and it's just me talking. You know, this is me pouring my thoughts out. You understand? This is what I be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And this is my way of getting my thoughts out, my research out. You understand? Letting the world know what it is, and letting the world know it's a young brother out here spitting some real shit. Because I don't really see anybody my age talking how I talk. A lot of people tell me that. They're like, yo, you're a young nigga. You talking like that? Like, you're a real knowledgeable dude. Because it's kind of rare, but you understand what I'm saying? But yes, I'm 24, and I talk like this. I know history. I know it very well. You understand? I know more history about religion or Christianity than most preachers do. I can run the whole shtick of religion down to somebody if I really, really wanted to. But that's not in this video. But let's use the Jeezy versus Guwap shit. Now, everybody knows, if you know me, you know I felt that Jeezy was going to win from the beginning, and he went in there and pretty much won. To me, that's just pretty much how it went. How do I feel about the battle, though? I think that the battle was planned out. I do think, the more and more I've kind of looked at and thought about it, I think that the battle was planned out to a certain degree. Not in a negative way, but I do think that it was planned. You can kind of tell to a certain degree that, and Gucci kind of spoke to it essentially. You understand what I'm saying? That the video would be that it was kind of planned, kind of spoke over the phone. But I gotta say salute to Jeezy and Gucci. I'm proud of both of those brothers. I'm proud of first Gucci for even agreeing. Well, I'm proud of Jeezy first for calling Gucci to do the battle. I really am, because this is one of the reasons why I kind of always have gravitated towards Jeezy music more, because Jeezy's music is more grown in a certain degree, grown man music, whereas Gucci's is kind of, a little ignorant. Gucci's music kind of panders to, I ain't gonna lie, kids essentially, or people who are, I don't want to say the ignorant, but who like that ratchet shit. Whereas Jeezy's music essentially appeals to people who are a little more mature. You understand what I'm saying? Want to hear some real shit. That's kind of always been the difference to me. Gucci has always been on that ratchet shit. Jeezy music has transformed from that ratchet shit more so towards some real shit, some real life shit. So, but I have to salute the Gucci because, to Jeezy, because he reached out. He said, let's do it. He agreed to everything that Gucci wanted to happen. That's what also tell me it was planned. Gucci, I gotta say salute to Gucci for even doing this shit, because Gucci didn't have to do the battle. Gucci could, like I said, if you haven't heard the song called Forgive Me by Jeezy, you're not gonna understand why I'm saying this. But it's a song by Jeezy called Forgive Me off of Church in the Streets, and he speaks to the Gucci situation in that song and said he never sent Pookie to actually kill Jeezy. I mean, to kill Gucci, but nonetheless, Gucci still has every right that Jeezy's man essentially went to go take his chain, because people get that misconstrued, like Jeezy sent him to kill. No, he was sent to take his chain. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have a chain on my neck. That's like somebody coming to steal my ankh. Like, killing me may happen, but they tried to steal this man's chain, and as we know, Gucci killed Jeezy's man. You understand what I'm saying? That's kind of how the beef started. So I gotta say a big fucking salute to Gucci, because he didn't have to do that. And I gotta say salute to Gucci for holding his composure during the fucking battle, because dude, Gucci came out with round one. I was like, yo, this is round one of Gucci Man versus Jeezy. Oh man, that shit was fire as hell, man. He said, chop it, hit you, make you do your ad-libs. Yeah, yo, when Gucci played that shit, I was like, yo, Gucci is a fool. But, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you understand what I'm saying? I was lit, because I remember when that shit first came out, man. I remember when round one first came out. So it was entertaining. But salute to Gucci, for Jeezy, for holding his composure the whole battle, because Gucci was taunting them, you know what I'm saying, talking about, I'm up here with a $10,000 outfit on, and Jeezy hit him with, well, I ain't got $10,000 outfit on, but I own damn near half the real estate in Atlanta. It was just funny, man. The music they was playing, it brought back hella memories. You understand what I'm saying? And I gotta say salute to Jeezy for his composure. I also gotta say salute to Gucci for his composure too, because you understand what I'm saying, you looking across the way from somebody that sent somebody at you, essentially, you know what I'm saying, that basically could have killed you. That took hella guts, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of the reason why Gucci at the end had to sit there and more specifically after that speech that Jeezy did, you know what I'm saying, after the truth was played, because I ain't gonna lie, I was wondering if he was gonna play the truth, or Gucci was gonna play the truth, and he did. You understand what I'm saying? Not really surprising to me, but yeah, he played the truth, and you can tell that Jeezy was a little bothered. He wasn't bothered like I'm about to do something, but he was a little bothered. You know what I'm saying? Because Gucci was taunting Jeezy a little bit, and to me, this just showed the reason why I am a huge Jeezy fan, because of situations like that. Now, with Gucci playing that record and Gucci also saying, "You called me to do this," the only thing Jeezy could do, he could have did two things. He could have did what he did, which was the right thing, or he could have went left. They could have got the fight, and everything that Jeezy has built his name and brand to be, because Jeezy's is out here trying to move on a different level, on a different playing field. Now, I may not agree with some of his political decisions, but we ain't even gonna get on that. He's trying to change his brand. All that would go down the drain if he had, and I hear people saying Jesus should have fucked him up. What do you expect a 43-year-old man to do? Sit here and go beat this nigga up? Like, when you worth all this money and you got all these people depending on you. He had to think about that, and he had to realize that, yo, it ain't even worth it. And He said this in the interview. I had to put myself in Gucci shoes for a second. You understand what I'm saying? And realize that, you know what I'm saying, like, I've been holding on to, you know what I'm saying, he's been holding all this against me all these years. He need to get that out. And you know what I'm saying, my man's did go, you know what I'm saying, to do something to him. Jeezy had to think about all that. So to me, the real hero of the battle was Jeezy, because Jeezy controlled the whole battle. I told my fiance this when we was watching this shit, because she was like, you know, why Jeezy not reacting a certain way? I'm like, because he's controlling the whole battle. This battle's only gonna go where Jeezy wants it to go. If Jeezy want this shit to go left, it's gonna go left, because Gucci was taunting his ass. He was on that ignorant shit, and he agreed. Later on, I saw a post where it said that Gucci regretted, you know what I'm saying, playing the truth, because to a certain degree, Jeezy wasn't on that shit the whole night. Jeezy was on that positivity shit, like, yo, I ain't with that old young nigga shit no more. I'm done. That's the old me. And you know what I'm saying? You could tell at the end during the speech, when Gucci said salute pre-head the olive branch, you could tell he was like, yeah, this nigga done changed. Yeah, I could see it. And I'm sure after the battle, he thought about, like, yo, he ain't on that no more. And this is what I tell black people: we need to be unified. Because if the Klan was to walk into that venue while they were doing that and see both of them, they're not going to say, well, he's Gucci, man, let's keep him. He's Jesus, let's keep him. No, they're going to be like, you niggers, fuck you niggas down here. That's what they're going to do to him. You understand? We got to be unified out here. We got to put the little bullshit beef to the side. And that's some real shit right there. Somebody died behind that. But that's my thoughts on that. What else? Is there anything else I want to talk about? Because this video's long. Thanksgiving. Yes, everybody. There's no secret that I think that Thanksgiving is a murderous holiday. I am knowledgeable of that. Like I said, it's a murder of the indigenous and some of our people when, you know, saying Columbus and these boys came to America. But I will say to everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. I originally wasn't gonna do this video. I was just gonna chill, but I was like, no, fuck it, let's do it. So everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your food. Enjoy and have a good time with your families. And yeah, man, that's it. Peace.